Republicans in the Senate just passed a sweeping overhaul of the U.S. tax code, the largest change since Ronald Reagan's presidency. The bill zipped through the process in a mere 3 weeks. It's still not a totally done deal though, as substantial differences between the House and Senate bills need to be ironed out before President Trump can sign the final piece of legislation into law. But there's little doubt this is a major victory for Trump. Here's a rundown of the winners and losers so far. You can read the entire 479-page document here. Winners: President Trump. He promised a big, beautiful tax cut by Christmas. It's the centerpiece of his Meganomics agenda, and he looks likely to get it, at least by early 2018. Both the House and the Senate have cleared major hurdles. In fact, it might even end up being a tax cut and a repeal of the individual health care mandate, one of the least popular Affordable Care Act provisions. Most economists also expect the bill will juice economic growth, at least for the next year or two. The economy has been growing around 3% for the past 2 quarters. If it jumps to 4%, or more, in coming quarters, Trump can claim an even bigger victory heading into the 2018 midterm elections and the 2020 presidential election. Big corporations: America's largest companies are about to get the biggest tax cut ever. The House and Senate bills slash the top corporate rate from 35% to 20%. While few corporations actually pay 35%, the average is around 25%, most still get a break. Really profitable companies like Apple and Microsoft also get to bring back the piles of cash they have sitting in offshore accounts to the United States at a very low tax rate, 14.5% in the Senate bill. There are other goodies in the bill for businesses as well, such as the ability to fully deduct the cost of new investments for the next 5 years. But perhaps the biggest win of all for big business is a change from a worldwide tax system where businesses have to report income earned globally to the IRS to a territorial system where they mainly pay taxes only on what was generated in the United States. The Republican tax overhaul that squeaked through the Senate early Saturday morning would reach deep into the nation's health care system, with a clear dagger to a core aspect of the Affordable Care Act and broader ripple effects that could threaten other programs over time. The measure would abolish. The Republican tax overhaul that squeaked through the Senate early Saturday morning would reach deep into the nation's health care system, with a clear dagger to a core aspect of the Affordable Care Act and broader ripple effects that could threaten other programs over time. The measure would abolish people with money in the stock market. The Dow surged above 24,000 for the first time this week. The stock market is up over 600 points, nearly 3%, just this week as investors cheer the tax cuts getting closer to reality. If Trump is able to sign the bill, investors are likely to get a very good deal. Many companies plan to bring cash home from abroad and give a lot of that money to investors in the form of higher dividends and stock buybacks, which increase stock prices.